Faith Forged in Fire, where we dive headfirst into the unique challenges and triumphs that comes with being a firefighter, all while exploring what it means to live out a biblical worldview. Join us as we find hope, perseverance, and faith in the midst of the heat and chaos. Welcome to the podcast. Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. It's been a long time, and unfortunately, this isn't quite the podcast you maybe were looking for. Let me first give you some good news. The good news is we are not done. I'll explain kind of what's been going on, and that's part of the reason for just making this podcast. I want to give you a little encouragement. I have some cool information for you today, some important information for you. So let's get into it. First of all, November, we made the choice that we were going to take a break in November because I actually had surgery, and so I was down for the count in November. And we said we're going to come back and we're going to hit it hard in December. And last week, we got some pretty bad weather, and everybody but me travels a little ways. Steve especially travels from a long ways in, and I was the one that said, hey, I don't want Steve driving on those roads that long. And so we postponed. We kind of canceled that week and postponed until this week. And same thing happened this week on our recording day. We had got bad weather, and probably by recording time we could have managed, but early in the day, nobody knows that. Our schools were canceled. All of that stuff happened. And it's easier to make that call early on. And so we made the call to cancel recording again. And what that really means is, unfortunately, they're just really, with the holidays coming, unfortunately, December's kind of going to be a wash as well. Other than this, we were giving you this podcast. We felt it was important to do this because we wanted to get the information out. We want you guys to not give up on us. We very much plan to be back in January. We have some great content. We have some great ideas. We had a great month planned for you this month, and we plan to bring it back. A lot of that content that we were going to do this month, we'll hit next month. But anyways, so this is a little different. If you're watching on YouTube, if that's where you usually watch, of course, you're not seeing our face. I'm not actually in the studio. I'm just at home recording this. Those of you listening at home, or listening on the podcast, rather, you'll quickly find out this is Joshua if you don't know my voice by now. But I'm it right now, recording this just for you, to get us through, to let you guys know. Listen, we have found it super important, and I feel bad. We all feel bad when we can't record, because the encouragement that you guys have been to us, the amount of emails we have gotten from people who just want to let us know how much they appreciate the podcast, they appreciate all of it, our nonsense, our humor, the fun time that we have together, the biblical thoughts, scripture, firefighting, just all of it. You guys have expressed an appreciation for all of it. And man, we are so grateful. And that is keeping us going. We are excited. Even in this downtime, we have experienced a season of growth on the podcast that is incredible. All we can do is say, praise the Lord. We haven't done anything different. It just seems that the Lord is using this. Our subscribers on YouTube are growing. We are pretty much every day getting just regular good views. We got a year-end report back from Spotify. So those of you who listen on the podcast, wherever you listen to it, you're not on YouTube. Let me say, even for that, I mean, by leaps and bounds, you can't even compare how good this year was compared to the other years. This was not just our best year, but it blew everything away. It was just incredible to see that. Incredible to see the countries that God is putting us in, realizing that our little studio in our little town is reaching the world. That is incredible as well. And we are excited about what's next. And we want you to know that. We don't want you to go anywhere. We want you to know that we appreciate you, and we want to continue to do this. And so, Lord willing, in January, we will be able to get together, record the month, get going again. There are some other things that are in this, not just my surgery and the weather, but my life has taken a significant change in all of this. And I would assume, most likely, we will have some conversation about this when we come back in January, because there's so many really cool opportunities just to kind of walk through what God has been doing in my life and the things we can learn. But God has unexpectedly changed the direction of my family's life. By the time we come back, when you start listening to this podcast in January, I will no longer be the pastor at the church that I'm in. My family will continue to attend there. We will be actively involved. We're excited about what God is doing, but God has changed the direction of our life ministry-wise, and I will now be the executive director. In fact, I am already, but I'm also still the pastor of the church through December. But by January, I will be full-time the executive director of Continental Baptist Missions. And I'll just kind of throw this plug out there. If you're interested at all in what that might be, find us on Facebook or go cbm.org. If you just kind of want to follow along with what's going on in our life, that would be a great way to do that. But we are excited about that. Continental Baptist Mission is a church planting mission board. I'll talk more about that just as we share what God is doing, because there's just a lot of cool lessons through that he's taught me that I want to share with you, and will be a great conversation with the guys. But God really challenged me through this season, because I didn't think I was ever going to do anything but be a pastor. The great thing is with it, we don't have to move. I plan to keep firefighting where I am. I get to keep doing the chaplain gig that I have. And so I'm excited about all of that. But that adds a layer of busyness to my life right now, because I'm working 2 jobs. So even when we think about finding the time to record a podcast, there's just a lot going on in our lives right now. So it just kind of worked. But again, we want you to know, I wanted to get this out. Make sure you share this with anybody that you know listens to the podcast, so they can know the update. Here's one of the coolest things that's coming. For those of you who watch on YouTube, one of the coolest things that's coming because of my new job is a new studio. My studio, or our studio currently, both the studio that I have for my own YouTube channel and then the studio that we have set up for our podcast, they are actually in the church. And because of this change, I'm moving everything out of that studio, and we're setting up a new studio. And what we're excited about is we actually get a lot more space in the new studio that we're setting up. It's going to take us a little bit of time to do that. It's going to take some finances and just time to move some things around and move the stuff to another building, another town. So the neat thing for the other guys is it's actually going to be 20 minutes, a half hour closer for them. It's going to be real close for Rich and Jake. It's going to be where I work. It's going to be at my new job. So when we get ready to record, I will just walk downstairs to the studio. Rich and Jake will just travel a few minutes, and then it saves Steve about a half hour, 20 minutes as well. So really, not only is it going to be a blessing for the room, an opportunity for us to just kind of improve what we have for your viewing pleasure, but it's also going to be a blessing for us to just make it a little bit easier on podcasting nights for us. So we're excited about that. We hope you're excited about that. Also, we haven't forgotten about the fire truck giveaway. We have received some stories, some notes, and we're going to share those with you coming up in January. Those of you who have sent them in, just know we're going to get to you. We've got fire trucks for you. We're excited about that. I think we're going to have even some more fire trucks as well to give away. So we are encouraged by what's coming. Thanks for the emails. Keep sending in the emails. Those are encouraging. And I would love to hear from you what your favorite podcast was this year? If you think back, whether it was the most impactful, the funniest, whatever it was, tell us what your favorite podcast was, and I'll give you the email. I hope I get it right. Steve, I know you'll be listening to this. Hopefully I get this right for you. ffifpodcast@gmail.com. Email us there, ffifpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what your favorite episode was this year and maybe why. That'd be great. And we'd love to hear from you. Maybe we'll get to share it on an episode in the coming year as well. But write in, let us know what's going on. And make sure, again, that you're sharing this. That's huge. If you're sharing the podcast with people, we know that you have been. We hear from many of you who are writing while you're drinking red flannel coffee. That has been so encouraging as well. Red flannel coffee has been so good to us in supporting us. And it's so encouraging for us to know that we are at least helping Jake and Red Flannel Coffee by getting the word out there. And in knowing that we're hearing of firehouses that have switched to Red Flannel Coffee, people saying, I listen while I drink Red Flannel Coffee. I'm writing this email while I'm drinking Red Flannel Coffee. And man, what an encouragement to us as well, just for that. We always get a good smile out of that. So thank you for that as well. I want to kind of just leave us off today. This is not by any means going to be a full podcast because you guys don't want to listen to just me the whole time. But I do want to leave you with a passage of scripture, a couple passages in Psalm 90. The context of the psalm here is speaking of God's wrath and then our futileness in that and the shortness of our life, the futility of our life. And you might say, well, man, as we end this year, I'm already feeling like my life is futile because the year is gone. Well, that's really why I want to share this, but I don't want to share it in a way that's discouraging. I'm going to challenge you with something. But let me first start by reading for you Psalm 90, verse 10. The psalmist says, the years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80. Yet their pain is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. We started this podcast. Rich and I restarted this podcast. Jason and I started this podcast in the first place several years ago because we recognize that in the service that we live in the fire service, in what we do as first responders, our life is full of toil and trial, even more so. But we get a front row seat. We say this all the time. We get a front row seat to the evil things, the darkness and the brokenness of this world. And then you and I, we have to carry that. We have to carry that. And that's not an easy thing. And that's been brought to light. Maybe we'll talk about this some more in the first of the year. But Rich and I were this year together on a call, and it was not an easy call. There was a little kid involved, and yet we find out later that this situation was not accidental and that the mother was involved. And it's just that reminder of not only now do we carry that for the rest of our lives because of the choices of the mother, but the brokenness, just the brokenness of the world, the toil and trouble that we carry. And here the psalmist says in this verse, he says, they're soon gone and we fly away. Our lives are over. It says the years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80. In the new year, in February, I'm going to be 46, I think, if I'm remembering right. And some of you might go, man, you're still young. But if you think about, even 80 years, my life is more than half over. And I don't think I'll make 80 years. We have no idea what the Lord has for me. But I think about how quickly this first 40-some years have gone for me. And that's the reminder as we close on a year. We always think about how fast this life goes. So this is where the encouragement comes in. Let's go to verse 12. I'm going to read for you verse 12 of Psalm 90. The psalmist says, because of this, because of the quickness of our days and the brokenness with which we live in this world, he says, so teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. This has been the drive of our podcast. It really has been. First of all, we want to help you deal with the struggles that you're walking through, the difficulty of this job. We want to encourage you in that. But we also want to help you number your days. God has convicted me a long time ago, and especially reminded me of this in this transition of ministry. I only have a certain amount of time on this earth, and I need to make it count. Whether you're looking back on 2025 and saying, God did some great things through my life during this year, or saying, where did the year go? I've wasted it. Either way, we have an opportunity now going into this new year to make it count, to number our days, to live with wisdom. The New Testament says, walk wisely, making sure each step we take matters in our lives. Paul talks about that. We need to walk wisely in this life. And that's part of our heartbeat, is helping you guys catch the things that God has taught us about. If you hear the testimonies that Jake or Rich or myself, the things, Steve, the things we talk about, just even in our daily life, walking this life with the intent of serving God every day, walking in the good works that he has given us. That's why we do this podcast. And I want to leave you as we wind out this year, or wind down 2025 and look forward to 2026 when we can be back with you. If there's anything I could leave you with, it would be this: number your days. Pray that the Lord would teach you to number your days, that we are not living days accidentally, that we're not just drifting through days, but that we're living our days intentionally with the intent of serving God, because we only have a small amount of time to walk on this earth. Guys, I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope you have an incredible new year. We look forward to you hearing our voices again in the new year. For those of you who watch on YouTube, we look forward to you seeing our faces again. We look forward to the laughs of the next year. But more importantly, we look forward to another year of becoming more and more intentional with our lives. Number our days. As you go into 2026, make sure you are living intentionally. And I would challenge you to make Psalm verse 90 or chapter 90 and verse 12 a prayer heading into the new year. Teach us, Lord, to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom, and then that we would live every single day as your children, living out the plans that you have for our lives, not the plans that we have. Thanks again for an incredible year from all of us. Though the guys couldn't be here to do this with me, I know they echo this with me. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. We mean it. You guys have been incredible. The community that we've built around this podcast, or that you have built, that God has built, we haven't done anything. We've talked into a microphone, and you guys have made this such an incredible thing that we really don't have any desire to stop doing this. We are more encouraged to keep doing this. And we just wanted you to know we're good. Life has just kind of taken over and presented us with some things that are outside of our control. We're good. We communicate regularly as a team, and we are looking forward to being back together in the new year. We will see you guys later. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If you're looking for something to get somebody for Christmas, make sure you go to redflannelcoffeeco.com. I got to get that in one more time. Use the code PJ30 for 30% off your coffee purchase, and send a great gift to somebody this year. Talk to you later. Bye.